funny, I have a buddy that's, he's 10 years younger than I am, and I mentioned that I was coming on here, and he's a massive Brooks and Dunn. And
really?
So I put him onto the podcast. Now we got 2 loyal listeners now because I love them. I'm going to start listening to the podcast. I listened to the last couple. They're awesome. And my buddy's been listening to them. So I'll make sure to let them know when it's happening.
That is awesome. Build our fan base in Canada.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of us that likes Brooks and Dunn up here for sure.
I want to go to Canada someday. My friend went like last year. They were looking at property and he like sent me some pictures and stuff, and it looks amazing. So I don't really know a whole lot about it. I've never been there at all, but I want to go.
Well, I know, who knows when that'll be, I guess, eh? Like it's not that 30 days. I think they closed the border for another 30 days anyway for non-essential travel. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Crazy. Well, you guys are fairly close to the border, though, aren't you? Like Connecticut and Ohio.
Yeah. It's not like we're a 17-hour drive from the border. I'm probably a decent 8-9 hours away, from the New York side, Buffalo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So up toward Montreal, Toronto, that sort of area.
2 big cities.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing if you came from my direction, you would probably go either Michigan or not Michigan, New York, go through there. So, So
are you a Browns fan then?
Oh, huge Cleveland Browns fan.
Okay.
My first year that I was a fan back in 2007, I started watching them a little bit in 2006. Then 2007, I watched them beginning to end of the season. And that was actually their last good year. They went 10-6 last time that they had a winning season. And so it was kind of weird because it was that was my first impression was they were actually winning games. And then they've not done that since. So I've become maybe, I don't want to say less of a Browns fan, but I definitely I don't rely on them for my happiness anymore.
Yeah. We can relate here. We have the Jets, and then we have the Bombers, the Blue Bombers, which is like CFL football. So they won the national championship last year, but usually they're breaking our hearts too, man. So yeah, I hear you. We're not. I'm not going there hanging on every one of their wins and losses because it just ends in bitter disappointment every year.
Did you I don't know what team he was on, but did you get to see Johnny Manziel? He was
yeah. That was just
I know he did really bad, which
he did bad. He just came in there just kind of guns a-blazing, thought he was just going to take over, and just a different game there. Plus, I don't think he was ready anyway, but yeah, he just got owned. His first game, he threw 5 interceptions. In the first half.
I remember, yeah,
something like that. So yeah, it was a bit of a gong show, and then it didn't work out for him in what is it, the other league, the USFL or whatever it was. So,
the AAF, yeah.
AAF, yeah.
Yeah, he was in the AAF until they went bankrupt. He played for Memphis, Tennessee, and then.
Oh yeah.
He played for 1 game, got injured, and then was about to go in for his second game. Then they went bankrupt.
Yeah, he's done. I guess he's just done.
No, he's done.
I didn't even know that he was in the AAF. Yeah, I can't believe that he, I didn't really watch college football that much, but for how well as he seemed to play, I remember I'll never forget watching him, Browns game, and he looked so bad. I mean, I think he had to look worse than any other Browns quarterback I've seen. I mean, it looked like someone that, you threw in someone that had no idea what they were doing. And this guy was a first-round draft pick. It looked like someone that wasn't drafted at all. It was, and that seems like that was his whole career, even in the CFL. So I don't know what happened.
I don't know. But you guys have a good quarterback now, though. He's half decent, isn't he?
He did really well his rookie year, and then last year was the opposite. He did really bad. They had their whole team was not too good, but so I'm hoping he kind of turns that around. But yeah, we'll see.
You still have OBJ though, don't you?
Yep, we still got most of all the guys from last year, so we're pretty much looking good on paper again. But we have a new head coach, so I really don't know what that's supposed to look like other than the Minnesota Vikings is where he came from. So I'm hoping, I guess, it looks like that.
Yeah. The Minnesota Vikings did well last season. They almost what's the AFC or NFC championship they made it to?
Yeah.
NFC.
Yeah, NFC championship. Yes, I mean, hey, that's
Yeah, it's not bad. I wasn't expecting them. There's actually a lot of people where I live that have season tickets because like we're only 45 minutes from the North Dakota border in the United States. So it's a 7-hour drive from here to Minneapolis. So it's we're a huge fan base of the Vikings here. Like when they're going deep in the playoffs, it gets pretty wild here actually. You wouldn't think, but it actually does. Maybe we're desperate for sports now.
Oh, I'm assuming, are you like Toronto Raptors fan?
Yeah, well, it's the only team we have, eh? Like we used to have the Vancouver Grizzlies, and now they were, a couple of about 5 or 6 years ago, they where did they Memphis, I think, right?
The Grizzlies are in Memphis, yeah.
So we just have the Raptors, and they had. I mean, it would have been interesting to see how they would have done this year, because they didn't have Kawhi Leonard, but they were on a 16 or 17 game win streak or something like that. It was crazy. So it would have been cool, but I don't think it's going to happen anymore, guys. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think they're going to resume.
I still have optimism solely for the purpose that it keeps me going. I still have hope.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Totally.
I think that they need to, with how late it's getting into, mid to late May now, they should just, by the time they resume, they should just start the playoffs,
Yeah.
at the very least, or even, just take the top 5 or whatever, skip, maybe even skip the first round of the playoffs, just go right in, take the top, whatever seeds,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be disappointed if they didn't, with how many games they played, they didn't at least have a playoffs, that, I mean, I'm not even a big NBA fan, but that seems like that would be really disappointing.
Yeah.
In
terms of the NHL too, like NHL, they're not even starting training camps until like next week or like early June. Yeah. And then that means they're not going to be like actually starting the season until like late June. And then by that point, you still have 3 or 4 rounds of 7-game playoffs to go. Like that's tough. That's going to be really tough to do.
Yeah, they came up with the proposed format today. So it was like 24 teams.
All right.
Yeah, so we were supposed to play the Calgary Flames, and the winner of that series would play the St. Louis Blues.
Oh, they're gonna play the Blues. Okay.
Yeah, so we were bidding to be one of those hub cities because our cases are so down here, but we don't have the hotel infrastructure to house like 5 or 6 teams, eh? For what, 2 or 3 months or whatever it would be. So
yeah, I get it.
They kiboshed it, but. Yeah, I hope they come back.
I got to run, guys, but thank you very much for your time, Ian. And
nice meeting you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, well, good to meet you as well.